How's it been, trappers? We are in January now of the season, deep in the heart of winter trapping. Pennsylvania just finished up its bobcat season last weekend and the fisher season before that. I had a couple sets out, but I was running a few winter canine traps. And as I was doing that, you know how that goes, your wheels start spinning, and I had a little bit of an idea, and I thought, you know, that just might work. I'm gonna come up, weld one up, figure one out what I wanted to do, and I did, and it worked. And I made tried it out, made a couple sets with it, and it worked. So what I'm going to show you here in a little bit is an idea I came up with. Now, it's not been tried, trap line tested, but that's why I'm putting it out there for you guys to check it out, see what you think, maybe even improve on it. But I think it has a lot of potential. This video made it worth you opening YouTube today, I think, what you're going to see here, because the idea just came to me, and like I said, I think it has a heck of a lot of potential. So what I am going to show you is a way to bed land traps, predator traps, for winter trapping. Now I will start out by saying, just like if you're just making regular dirt holes in winter and covering it with whatever covering, life's a lot easier if you get your sets made before the ground freezes, or if there's a thaw period. Chipping beds out isn't easy, and it isn't fun. And this is going to be the same deal, because it does require a trap bed. But this is the idea I came up with. It is a rebar stake with a nut welded to the top and a HAGz bracket welded underneath that nut. I tried it in a couple different configurations. I tried it with the HAGz bracket up, and I tried it this way, and I seem to like it best this way. I also always use a nut on my rebar stakes because it's easy to get a vice grip clamp to the top of the nut, and you can twist your stake and pull it out of frozen ground really easy. It gives you something good to grab a hold of. But this is also, that nut also serves another purpose. Now I will say, and the good thing about this is, your trap, your stake, your anchor, and your stabilizing system is going to be all in one. Especially if you're only, single stake, and if you trust a single stake for coyotes, or you can make them 24 inches. You can also add a double stake, some type of double stake rig, cable or whatever, and you can double stake with this. But your main stake, which is your stabilizer, your HAGz stabilizer stake, goes into the ground straight. Because, obviously it's going to be holding your trap, and you want that straight. Works for a couple different traps. I have a lot of Duke 1 3/4. So Duke 1 3/4 goes, when the HAGz is welded on like that, it goes in the bottom slot, and your loose jaw is going to rest on the nut. Okay. Bridger 1.5 or a 1 3/4, that goes in the top slot, and that's kind of the same deal. The loose jaw rests on the nut, which is fine. And I'll show you making a set later. It doesn't hurt anything to do it like that. Like I said, 1 3/4 Bridger and 1.5 Bridger. Now 1.5 Duke goes in the bottom slot, but the jaw spread is small enough that it goes in front of that stake, and that's good and solid. So if you don't like that loose jaw sitting on top of that nut there, you can try with 1.5 Duke. That trap fits it without the loose jaw sitting high. But like I said, in the field, it really isn't going to matter, especially when I show you how I cover these and whatnot. So yeah, it works for the smaller traps, for your fox trappers, fisher trappers. I do want to add one thing. That I do modify the HAGz bracket a little bit. I put it in the vise and take a hammer, and that side I bend on a straight 90-degree, bend it vertical down, straight down. Because if not, your trap will kind of sit up on an angle. But that's really all you got to do. Weld your nut fast. Make your bend in your HAGz bracket. I mean, I'd show you, but it's so simple to do. Just put it in a vise and bend it. That's perfect 90-degree angle, straight up and down. You add a J-hook there and add the end of your chain, and you have all one unit more or less for your anchor point and your trap stabilization in winter. I really think once some of these fisher guys that are trapping in the woods give these a try, I think they're going to end up liking them. You know, one thing I've noticed in woods trapping versus field trapping is the dirt freezes much more unpredictably. And then by saying that, I'm not meaning that you don't know when it's going to freeze, but the forest soil will creep. And a lot of times you think you're okay, but when it freezes, it expands and it creeps over your trap. You don't have near that with agricultural type soils. But I mean, this is so simple, so easy to make if you have a welder, and you know, it's gonna help you make a totally weatherproof set, really. It'll take everything but a lot of snow. I don't know if anybody's ever come up with something like this before, a HAGz bracket used for land trapping. But if somebody has, hey, comment down below, because they had a good idea too. But yeah, give Haggerty a call, order some of these and weld up a couple stakes and give them a try. And like I said, this is a new idea. I have not tested it on the trap line. I made sets in my yard, and everything seems like it's gonna be, you know, gonna work amazing. But you know, I have enough experience. I think it's gonna work really well on the trap line too. But like I said, I did not actually catch an animal using this system yet, but I have no doubts that it's gonna work very, very well. So yeah, I'm gonna shut the camera off, and I'll show you making a set with these and kind of my idea how I would do it. Please give me a like, please give me a subscribe, and if you're not already following or liking my Facebook page, TS Trapline, if you like some of the tips I give, please go there and check that out. So follow me out in the field, and we'll make a set with this rig, and let me know what you think. Okay, guys and girls, I'm going to try to show you this idea I have in action. This is just grass clump, dirt hole, and a trap bed. When you're digging out this trap bed, you know, two things to remember. And I actually start it with a hatchet. You have a little bit more control, make straight cuts with a hatchet when you're working in sod especially. But you can use your digging hammer too. I mean, it's just a simple trap bed. The point of making the trap bed is just to get the trap at the surface, at the ground surface more or less. But you don't want a lot of loose dirt in there. You want to kind of pack it down, and you just want to make it big enough, not much bigger than a trap, but you definitely do not want any parts of the trap touching the soil. So you hammer your stake in there. I do not have the trap attached with the J-hook, but in a real life scenario, you'd have a J-hook there and the trap attached to it. This is a Duke 1 3/4. I'm going to try to work here with the camera there. You insert just the tip of the Duke 1 3/4 into we'll put that chain down in there to simulate that that's where the chain is. You just want to put the tip into the HAGz bracket. If you go too deep, you have wobble. Now, as you can see right here, I made this hole after I made the bed. I really should dig some of that away. You would not want that touching there. But this is pretty stable. I mean, it's really stable actually. And the trap really isn't touching anywhere in that bed except for there, which I dig away, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And all you got to do now to have, I mean, that's pretty well weatherproof. Now you just need a covering, and this is just simple yard grass. Yeah, you pile some under there. You know, don't make it really thick, or if it does absorb water and freeze, it could keep the trap from going down. Use your thumb and forefinger, put the pan in a night latch notch, and then just grass it in, like so. You don't need a whole lot of grass. I might just put a little clump of a rock or clump of dirt or something there, because that loose jaw does stick up a little bit, but just don't have it over there so it, you know, if you're using dirt so it doesn't freeze fast. But that's basically an all-weather set that's going to work through anything but 8 inches or more of snow. Let me pull the trap out of here. I want to show you something. Get rid of that grass. Stick that back in there. But just the loose jaw sits on the top of that trap stake. And that's tight. That trap is in there super tight. So yeah, like I said, this is an experiment. I think it has a lot of potential, obviously for canine trappers, but also, you know, the winter fisher and bobcat trappers. I think you can really find a lot of use for this idea, and really any land trapping situation. And the stake and the stabilizer is all in one. If you are expecting coyotes, you can add some sort of double stake rig and double stake it, but your main stake is going to go straight down, and that's what your HAGz bracket's welded to, and that is what's going to, be your stabilizer for your trap. But that sucker's in there solid. It's not moving. And how easy is it when you make a catch, come back here, reset the trap, stick it in the HAGz bracket, grass it in with yard grass or hay or whatever you're using. With a 1 3/4 trap, I prefer to use something smaller like yard grass. But the really only negative I'm seeing to this so far is the HAGz bracket doesn't fit bigger traps. But till next time, guys and girls, good trapping.